Welcome to the Otaku Bubble Talk Show. And now your hosts, Aaron and Colin.
Okay, so apparently like Sophie is really like kind of bare bones with it, which is sort of expected because it's a new arc and like the story. But they're like they did some things where it's like don't fix what's not broken in it. So I was like, and then the sequel has like been showing up. I'm like been following and like. Yeah, people are saying it looks a lot better, and the characters are much more like interesting in it. I've seen the characters. And really,
I remember that Logi was in Sophie, wasn't he? I think Logi's supposed to be in Sophie.
No, I think it was like because this is a new series, so I think he might have shown up in Charlie.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, because that's part of the
Dusk trilogy. Because the whole Dusk trilogy is on Vita now, and I'm thinking maybe I might want to go and do it.
If you want
the whole thing,
get Atelier when you're getting Eshkan Logi, get the plus version.
Well, yeah, it's on Vita.
yeah. I've been thinking of like getting the plus for Eshkan Logi, but like I'm not gonna play through.
You're not gonna brute force it again.
I'm not going to, just because I brute forced my way through the original. Like not brute force, it was really enjoyable, but just eventually at the end,
but
it's such a slog.
It's a very much a hunting game in the sense that.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's fun. Like,
I know.
It's really fun to make all the new stuff, but it's like sometimes it just gets to be a slog where it's like, oh my god, okay, so apparently these.
We need to get another friend to go through it, and we just sit there and watch.
Yeah. But like, I still like it, so I've been deciding. Oh, at first I was gonna get Sophie. I was just like, I'll just get the sequel Fires. And then I was like, okay, well, if I'm not getting Sophie and I'm just getting one for that, I'll finish at the Dust Trilogy. So I'm thinking of getting Shally. I was like, okay.
But okay, are you? So I guess are you gonna do it 2, 1, 3 because there's still Aisha?
Oh yeah, I don't really care about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's that's the conclusion I came to.
Because Aisha, like, if you play Alchemist of the Dusk Sky,
so many improvements.
Eshkan Logi, there's like almost zero things to do from Aisha. Like they don't really relate to anything from the story. Like it naturally like passes on of like, oh yeah, like we're figuring
Gundam to Zeta, Gundam to Double Zeta, Gundam.
Yeah, it's kind of like things happened before and now we're still going.
But now we're with the new shit.
Yeah, but now it's like it's pretty new. They're completely like of course different area, but there's almost no storyline events that directly translates over, unless I'm missing something with the end game, because the very end game is just giant spoiler territory. Like, holy shit, we found out the meaning of life. Like, okay. But I'd like to see at least like what happens in Shally, because that's the conclusion of it. So,
yeah.
I'll think of picking it up then.
Well, I've been debating this for like a while, because I've been listening to the music, and the conclusion I came to is I like Artanelico's music better.
Well, yeah, we gotta go get Artanelico.
And like Artanelico, it's like 3 and done.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like Atelier where it's like, okay, there's like 15 bajillion games.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fucking have fun. They had one of the games we saw in EB Games.
Yeah, it was Shally.
Shally. Not Shally, of the Artanelico series.
Oh yeah.
One of them, remember?
No, that was I was telling you, it's Artanelico Koga, which is the Hymnos word for the end.
What?
So it's the last game in the trilogy.
Who cares? We're not gonna be able to find the other ones.
They're literally all on PS Plus. Sorry, not PS Plus. PlayStation Store. I checked.
Oh, okay. If I said PS Plus, I'm like, fuck that. But like, okay. No, wait. You already get PS Plus if you get a PS4, right?
You get a year's subscription.
Yeah. From my okay. Shit. Well, you're gonna have to pick that up. We have to play through that.
Yeah, that's the end game at the moment. But anyway, welcome to the Otaku Bubble Talk Show. I'm your host, Aaron.
I'm your other host, Colin.
And we talk about ingredients.
Very complicated ingredients.
And fake languages that are awesome.
That come into fake songs that are awesome.
Oh, okay, so
Seal and Protector. So good.
Like, okay, so I've been reading, like, because this man fascinates me. His name is Akira Tsuchiya. He's the main Gust composer guy and the director of the Artanelico and Arno Surge games.
Yeah.
He fascinates me so
much.
He fascinates me so much because he's done like so much like extra work that normally no human would ever do.
Because remember, we talked about the fake language once. We were like a couple podcasts ago. We went over holy shit, like all the languages, and they actually make coherent sense.
Exactly, and like yeah, so just like reading about him and like what his background is, and it's like, what did I study in school? I studied basically business economics.
Yeah.
And then all the science mumbo jumbo lingo that I throw into the Artanelico games is just me looking it up.
Oh wow, that's like so much just personal effort.
Yeah, too dedicated.
Damn. I'm just kind of expecting eventually after Ono Surge, if they ever continue it. Have they ever made any news after Ono Surge? Like if that series is
he says he's not thinking of continuing it at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, because I presume at the time he was working, the next thing he had to work on, I think, was Knights of Azure. He was doing the soundtrack for that.
Yeah, definitely.
So
his hands would be full.
His hands are, I feel like, are constantly full.
Dude, his hands are just overflowing. Just.
That sounds so dirty.
They have these languages.
Okay. So, weeks. I had a week.
Yeah.
Alright, actually, I want to clear something up first because I keep forgetting to talk about this in regards to Thunderbolt Fantasy. So, there's a bunch of shit you should know before going into Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Okay.
And it's kind of frustrating if you're not familiar with it. Like, the genre, kind of, in a sense. Because, as I said, it is very much a Chinese myth tale in terms of storytelling.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you get with that is in Japanese games. This doesn't particularly bother me, but the way Japanese to Chinese works is that there's Japanese pronunciations of Chinese words.
Okay.
So, it's basic. The example I'll use is like, you know how Guillaume in French becomes William in English.
Okay.
It's like that. So all the character names in what do you call it? In Thunderbolt Fantasy, they are the Japanese translations of the Chinese characters. But when Crunchyroll does it, they translate it literally in Chinese. So there's a disparity where they're saying the Japanese names, but the translation reads the Chinese names.
Oh, okay. So then, like, is there just like character confusion at that point?
No, it's just that if you like to listen to like words, it's like super irritating.
Okay.
And like I can look past it, kind of, sort of, because.
So does it like show up on the screen one way and then say it a different way?
Yeah, exactly. They say the Japanese way first, and then they say and it reads the Chinese way in terms of the translation. So like I'm used to it because I play like Dynasty Warriors, and like they do that constantly whenever they choose not to English localize it.
Okay.
So, or rather, not English dub it. So I'm kind of used to it a bit, but the autocorrect in my head just goes, okay, that translates to that. So there's a character named Don Fei, and that's what it reads in English, but they pronounce it Tanhi. So it's like, okay, mental correct constantly. So I
just reading is just like tough. Oh god, no, that's wrong.
Like, and when they translated, what was it called? Mobile Suit Gundam BB Sanshi Sangokuden, I remember that they used because it's also one of those things where they use Chinese names for characters, but Japanese pronunciation. So they actually used the Japanese pronunciation when they were translating it.
Hey.
So that was a lot easier to, I guess, catch myself up mentally in my head with.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know that can be, like, off-putting to, like, certain people.
Yeah.
If, like, the translations don't sync up.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to get that out of the way. Also, voice actor changes, as in...
what? Already?
No, here, let me explain. Because they dubbed it in both Taiwanese, Chinese, and, what's it called? Japanese.
Okay.
So there's a thing in Taiwanese puppet dramas where they use they only use male voice actors.
Okay.
And B, whenever a character shows up, they give like an introductory poem which literally explains their entire character arc, basically.
Okay.
Or like their character motivations and personality and that kind of thing. So
it's like a screenplay, but in the real time.
No, it's more like an opening monologue to introduce a character.
Yeah.
So when you get to like certain characters being introduced, they switch actually over to the Taiwanese adaptation.
Okay.
And they use like the Taiwanese saying the introductory poem. So like that can also be slightly off-putting, where you're listening to one language and it's a voice actor in this language, and then you switch over.
Oh, so is they literally sing it in Taiwanese or?
Yeah, Taiwanese Chinese.
Oh, that'd be pretty weird.
But like, I mean, it's not like for me, it's not off-putting because like I don't know, I'm a little bit used to it.
Okay. Well, like it makes sense, I guess, but like, yeah, it's the same if you listen to any language and then just immediately get some other dialect of it. It's
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So yeah, and whatever. Those are like just like mini, not really complaints, but observances where I just have to like, okay, autocorrect in my head.
Yeah.
Overall, like I guess I'd say it's still pretty good, and like I think it's just gonna keep being pretty good. Like Hiroyuki Sawano doing the music, so I mean, it's okay. It's there. Not really much to say other than that. Like, it's just so by the numbers that there's not a lot to talk about. Okay. I just need to clear that out of the way because I keep forgetting to talk about it.
Okay. Anything else?
91 days still being 91 days.
Oh, yeah. Damn, I completely, like, forgot to check. How many, is there 3 episodes out now?
3 episodes out now.
I need to watch that. I'm so interested in that. You watched one episode, I was like, I need to watch this. And then I ended up watching Bakemonogatari, like,
then I tried to start Mob Psycho 100, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
And
I actually forgot about that.
And instead, I watched what I presume to be the first arc of Hyoka.
Yeah, you said you were watching. How are you liking it?
How do I put this?
It's meh.
No, I really like it. I think it's probably modern Kyoto Annie's best work.
Yeah.
But of course, I've only seen 5 episodes. I can't really comment on that. But to me, at the moment, is modern Kyoto Annie's like best work.
It is very definitive of Kyoto Annie. It's like, I think Hyoka is a great example of like what Annie is capable of. Like along with Hibiki Euphoria, which is
they did that too. Anyway, because what I know like Kyoto Annie from like what the golden age Kyoto Annie was, like what do you call it? Clannad, Air, like all those things, Haruhi.
Yeah.
And that's what I consider to be what Kyoto Annie primes himself on.
Yeah.
And then they did K-On!, which even though I'm fine with, I think that set a standard, like a kind of trend in a sense.
Yeah,
where
definitely a trend.
Kyoto Annie's successive works have all had certain style to them. And so we get around to Hyoka, and I don't know, it's just really... It's interesting. It's one of those shows where I don't think I'm gonna continue for now. I'm putting it off for now.
Binge, okay.
Mainly because there's so much there's so much meta to it. Where you have to have like a certain level of knowledge of Japanese in order to get like certain things that are going on in the plot.
Yeah.
So like I know some people can put themselves past that. But to me, it's like, I want to
You're just taking away from the experience.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to like learn a bit first, like do a bit of learning first, and then go back to that after, because I feel like I'll get better enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
But the first arc is really good. Like this, because what do you call it? When you get to the end of the first arc. And, like, I enjoy being, like, 30 seconds... Not really 30 seconds, but, like, 2 minutes ahead of the plot. Okay. Where it's, like, not so much of an ass pull as to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, I didn't see that coming. Like, Valbrave plot twists. If that makes any sense.
Never saw it coming.
Where it's just so ludicrously out there, it's bullshit. But I don't like to be like I don't want the plot to be talking down to me. Where it's like,
I want it to go the way I
no, I'm like keep up with my pacing.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that Code Geass Season 1 does so well. Is that you constantly have to keep up with the pacing of Lelouch and his mind and his game plan throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And so Hyoka is very much in that sweet spot of you're not talking down to your viewer, but it's not a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's just really good.
It's well done mysteries, yeah.
And yeah, like the last thing where it's like, oh, what does Hyoka mean? That was like, and they explain what Hyoka is and what it means, and then you call it from the second that they explain what the word Hyoka means, or rather, I called it from the second the word Hyoka means, and that's what I mean. Where it's like you're 30 to 2 minutes ahead of the plot.
Yeah.
You're not, and so yeah, it's just really good.
It's just like you get it right before they get it. And
Yeah.
you're just, oh yes, and the
That's so
like, yes,
and that's so immediately satisfying,
Yeah.
just as a pure viewer experience.
Yeah.
What else did I do? I feel like I did a lot. I played the King of Fighters 14 demo, which is out on PSN like right now.
How was it?
It's what I expected. Like, so I got deep into 13.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't good at it, but I got deep in there where I could do, okay, bread and butter combos, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, 14, when they started developing 14, everyone's like, oh, the models or whatever. Honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. But when we get to like stuff like gameplay mechanics, and the developers of 14 were like, okay, 13 was way too complex.
Yeah.
In terms of depth. And so they want to casualize it a bit because it's like, oh, modern fighting games are like they're trying to make a comeback. And so we don't want to alienate new people to the genre.
You don't want to, yeah.
So 14 has made a couple of changes. They've taken away some mechanics from 13.
Okay.
And in place of it, they've added mechanics such as like auto comboing. So like you can do like an auto combo, and like if you hit a certain like amount of bar, you can do it autos into the super.
Yeah, so like just anime fighters.
Yeah, like
just
anime
mash,
fighters.
Yeah.
Mash for combos.
And but I kind of like those. Just it's a good way because what the like I don't know for King of Fighters, but for most of the anime fighters, if you just spam that, it's an unoptimized combo.
Yeah, exactly. It's not optimized.
Yeah.
Same thing with KOF 14.
Yeah, so that's what I like about it. It's like, okay, if you just want to play for fun, yeah, you can spam it, but it's not optimized, and the better player will always do more damage.
Exactly.
So.
And anyways, so in terms of characters, you go for like Iori and Kyo, who are like the mainstays of the King of Fighters franchise, and they play like basically the same. Iori's interesting though because for 13 he had a complete style change where he stopped being like like standard Shoto where it's like fireballs, Shoryuken, and like ranged attack.
Okay.
Range projectile kind of thing.
Projectile. Melee.
And he stopped being that, and he went to like being like a weird close combat character.
Okay.
So in 14, because of plot reasons, in 13, he gets his projectile powers back, and basically, it's a fusing of the two styles of the way you play as Iori. So that's pretty interesting. In terms of newcomers, I really don't like how King of Dinosaurs plays.
Oh, that's
like, I don't know, just something about him is like, because there's grapplers I'm fine with playing as.
Is he a grappler? Like,
yeah, he's a grappler.
Or is he like a weird grappler?
No, he's a grappler. I've never gravitated towards grapplers. Like, there's some I like.
Sagat.
Sagat's not really a grappler, but like Zangief, for example.
Zangief, yeah.
I've gravitated towards like, I don't know, Potemkin and like Guilty Gear, or like, I don't know. That's probably the best example I can think of. So you can kanji in Persona 4 Arena, but
Fuck, I don't think I played kanji.
okay, yeah, whatever.
Because I didn't like kanji.
Anyways, so he just doesn't. He feels like just a little too janky for me to like get around. The new characters that they have in the demo are him, Sylvie, which is like the weird lolly maid character, the one with the eyes,
Yeah.
and the new protagonist character Shun-A. Speaking of
what?
Shun-A, yes.
Alright.
Speaking of like just Japanese to Chinese characters, he's a Chinese character. They pronounce it the Japanese way.
Okay.
Anyways, he is probably the most interesting take on like a Shoto archetype, like let's say Ryu, Ken, that kind of thing. Where he's just got interesting shit. Like, and I'm really feeling like I can main him. Like, I feel like he's going to be like the Ryu or like the Charlie of like competitive play, if that makes any sense, where everyone's picking this guy. But I don't care. He feels really good to play as.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of anything else that I did. If it comes to me, I'll talk about it, but whatever.
Okay. The only thing I did literally this week was continue my Bakemonogatari series. So I was watching Monogatari, which is the season after Bakemonogatari's second season, and that takes place on the focus of Kanbaru's. How do you pronounce it right? Kanbaru's plot. And
hold on, who's Kamaru again?
Kamaru she's from the first season.
Yeah, okay.
She's the short-haired, sort of purple-blue girl.
Okay, yeah.
She has the left hand wrapped in.
Yep.
You tell. Yeah. So now she's like finally getting her character development, of like all the way in this separate arc, and it's a good example of like of having your female characters like even like of just like the meta of what Bakemonogatari is to like a harem, where there's a bunch of the times even in Bakemonogatari's second season they have like a whole arc that just completely takes place with the main, like Aragi's gone, like that's it. It's just the females interacting and doing stuff on their own. So Monogatari is Araragi and Sonjugahara, like two main female. They're gone. They graduated from high school. They're gone. So it's just her.
Fuck those two. I hate them so much. No, actually, no. Sonjugahara is okay.
Oh man, people would kill you. I like Araragi. He's such a meta main character.
I don't like Araragi.
I like it. He's pretty meta.
So anything to really talk about?
So like her character, they introduced like this childhood friend that we've never heard of before.
Aragi's childhood friend?
No, not Aragi. For her.
Okay.
Kanbaru, and it's just, I guess like focusing on them, like that's like the kind of like the premises of it, and so it's her still trying, because she still has her monkey arm.
Yeah.
And because it was really left unsolved. It was just like, it'll go away in time.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is bringing back to Nisa Monogatari. You haven't seen.
Yeah.
So this was like the second season.
Chronologically.
Chronologically, not Bakemonogatari's second season.
Yeah.
Second season chronologically, or order. Fuck, I don't know, not chronologically, just order-wise. Chronologically, it's a fucking mess.
Okay.
So in Nisa Monogatari, they had this kind of secret dealer man that spread out like charms and like magic, whatever, to like curse kids and whatever.
Yeah.
But then like that's actually just like make believe and whatever. And it's like what he's actually doing is just kind of like mental hypnosis, where they think, oh, they have a curse all of a sudden or whatever.
Mm.
But then there's like an actual curse at the end of it that Araki has to fucking deal with, because plot. So this is kind of going back to that, where Kamaru finds out like in the first episode that this childhood friend is actually just this secret devil dealer. And
Okay.
she's just receiving all these like requests from people, and she's just being a little shit. She's like, and Kaworu just like is really wondering, it's like what the fuck, and it's them like just dealing with each other after having like such shitty lives.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm looking forward to finishing it off because it's only 5 episodes.
Mhm.
But like, I really like how they have just these little separate like 4 or 5 episode seasons just dedicated to one character, and they don't really need the presence of like any of the other characters whatsoever.
Okay, sorry. I do remember something else that I did this week.
I go.
I caught up on Nisekoi again. So we're actually done now.
So
That-
Chittage finally won.
Yeah, Chittage finally won.
Woohoo!
Like-
everybody's butthurt.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's just, the moment was good. Like,
But you feel empty after it. You're just,
it's so weird because I didn't think I would get this emotional over Nisekoi being practically over.
Yeah, just like when your mega series finally comes to your end, you're like, that's it. Oh shit.
Cause,
Like,
yeah.
he finally got it. This is it. Oh my god.
And I feel like I wouldn't be that way if more harem, I guess, anime got to like the story quicker, if that makes any sense. Because I think the most interesting thing you can do with a harem anime is have the girl win and do the after story.
Oh, they have an after story?
No, they don't have an after story
Yeah.
for Nisekoi. But I think that's the most interesting thing you can do with a harem is you get the girl, then have all the actual problems of a relationship go on.
Cloud after story.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say
Yeah.
after story. So, like, and Imo got one, which was terrible.
Oh, that's Jesus Christ.
Like, Imo's after story was hilarious.
It was fucking. He just made everyone like fuck you.
Because
Imo.
Imo ends on like the worst note ever.
Yeah, it really does. It's like seriously, the ending is literally like the biggest something happened, but nothing happened. Like fuck you.
And then basically what the after story is the author bitching about people being pissed off with the ending.
Yeah. Oh, who did that? Oh my god, there was some other dude that was just like, fuck it, here's your ending. Oh, I can't remember, but
But yeah, so I feel like that's the most interesting thing you can do with like
have an after story.
any romance harem manga thing. And I feel like Erased is a bit interesting where it's like it's the after story first and then you get to the actual plot, if that makes any sense.
That is completely what a lot of harems like miss. But I understand, just because usually harems get 12 episodes, and most of the time they don't actually have a plot line.
Yeah.
Like fucking fuck harems that don't have a plot line. Okay, like it's literally just fans.
You know,
the
it's been
anime. It's 12 episodes of girls going hopping on one guy's dick, and there's nothing like there's no.
And they're not actually hopping on his dick because he's too shy to actually do anything.
Yeah, it's just the biggest cock tease. 12 episodes where nothing happens.
You know, it'd been interesting if, in Battle, Ando got together with Mirai in the second episode and it actually stayed that way. Like the entire show. Do you know how awesome that would be? And like all the other girls are trying to fuck him over.
Oh my god.
Mirai's best girl.
Speaking of things that do have nice stories, that's what Bakemonogatari does.
Oh, does he actually get together with Senjukahara?
Yeah, he gets together with her at the end of the very first season.
Oh, wow. Okay, I must not have finished the first season.
Yeah, she gets together at the end of the first season, or maybe it's at the second season. Not Bakemonogatari second season, like Nisa Monogatari. It's either that one or that one. I just remember they get together pretty early on, and just it continues like she's his girlfriend for like the remainder of the season.
Actually, sorry, I need to address something that I'm thinking about. Not in the stupid Sword Online way, where
No, Sword Online is like the fuck you to that. I was just like, hey, we have a girlfriend, but no, the harem's still going, and even though he has a girlfriend, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and like all the girls are still okay with it, but they're still.
Why is Asuna still okay with it?
Oh yeah. Anyways.
Okay. No. Okay. So we were talking about things that have after story. I talked to you about Zero no Tsukaima, of how like that was kind of like the like kind of like the legend of like how this harem stuff, man in another world harem shit.
Yeah.
Like Zero no Tsukaima. That's what it is. That like technically has it.
Yeah.
It's in this weird sense of like there's 4 seasons, and he's like he gets together with her at the very end. But when he gets together, it's practically an after story.
Okay.
Because he finally goes back to his world, and he just brings her with him.
Oh, that's cool.
But
I
the
guess.
thing is, like, why I said after story is that he's pretty much already with her at the end of like the 2nd season.
Okay.
I think, because like, fuck, I mean, like they almost get married, and then he has to like drug her so they don't. So.
What situation has to arise where you're about to get married, but then you drug your fiance?
It's great. Zero no Tsukaima, for all its like cliche shit, it's like it's pretty cliche, but it's also not cliche because like it just has some of the most original shit where it's like the girl tries to get married, he crashes the party, and he just cuts off the dude's arm. Like that.
No, okay, what I need
like,
is for every harem series, I need the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure treatment. Of like, okay, you get part 2 with the descendant, then part 3 with another descendant. I need or I know Imoto's Bizarre Adventure.
It's just oh man.
And then like maybe one of them can bang the non-canon ISA child.
God.
Imoto's
Imo multiverse.
Yeah, and then you get the steel ball run where he actually does marry ISA. And then you get the other steel ball run where he actually marries Kuroneko.
We all win.
Yeah, we need the most like all endings are canon shit for Imo. He gets together with the stupid lolly pink-haired girl.
With fucking Minase. How do you pronounce her name?
With who? Manami?
Manami.
No, he never gets together with Manami. Fuck her.
Fuck grandma.
He gets together with the light novel exclusive character.
Oh, who was that again?
You'll never know. You'll never ever know.
I remember. No, that was a visual novel specific character. Anyways.
He waits.
I need to find who's this light novel exclusive character. What the fuck?
Basically, Manami. You know Manami's Dio tier like scheming that you find out about at the end of Imo.
Yeah.
So that's actually caused by basically Danny getting shoved in the furnace.
What?
And like I'm going with JoJo analogs again. It's Danny getting shoved in the furnace by Manami, and then Kyosuke has to live with that.
Oh my god! Your wife is shoved in the furnace. She's dead.
Imoto's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my god! All right.
Phantom Imoto. Imoto Tendency. Stardust waifus. ISA is unbreakable.
Where is just we get the multiverse where he's actually just the angsty teen pilot of a Gundam. Like we can go there.
It's called the Classroom Crisis alternate universe.
Oh man! Now that you reminded me of Classic Crisis, fuck man, we really need a 2nd season of that.
I feel like it ended so perfectly. I don't want a 2nd season. You can only fuck it up from here.
But the ending was it was such a normal ending. I just, like, I know
that ending was normal? What the fuck? That whole anime is like...
It's fucking weird, yeah, but like, no, but like the ending was just like very average, and just like, yes, everybody's like happy, and we did it, we beat the bad guy. I just wanted there to be more. That's what they say, like, come on.
Steel waifu run. Imoto Leon.
Imoto Leon. All the fucking angels are actually just waifus, and he just
Yeah.
like at this point he's just killing them.
Oh, sorry. Part 8 is called JoJolion.
Oh really?
So Imotolion.
Oh okay.
And it's like weird shit where it's like I haven't gotten to part 8, so my knowledge of this is like super nothing.
Okay.
But part 8 is essentially the part 4 protagonist in the alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Where there's like these weird Attack on Titan walls, as in like there's monsters in the walls, and it's a horror mystery novel.
Oh really?
A horror mystery manga.
Okay.
Because if you don't know about JoJo by now, is that genre shifts all the time.
I think that's really cool. That really like freshens it up.
Yeah. So part 1 and part 1, part 2, part 3 are the very standard JoJo.
Yeah.
Part 4 is when it starts getting weirder, and because like you get the Persona 4 shenanigans going on in the story, where it's like, oh, 1 in 100 people in this universe has weird ass superpowers.
Yeah.
And it's just people like wandering around, not knowing what they're doing really. And there's a core plot to part 4, but it takes a while for the ball to roll. But you don't care. Because there's so much stupid shit in part 4. Like, spaghetti, the spaghetti looks suspicious. I've talked to you about this before, but that has nothing to do with the plot. That is like one chapter. And you get to like people where it's like they're not connected to the plot until their powers are shown up, like their powers start being shown off.
Yeah.
And they're, I guess, thrown into the plot more, like they're more like I would call it like additional party members. Like they're optional to get.
Yeah.
But they can join your party at any time or whatever.
You know, I think any action always does better with a little mystery in it. Like whatever action show you have, they always try to kind of like keep you guessing like with where the plot is headed.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so straight shonen that you know doesn't matter whatever. They're like, who could have done this? Like, oh, like foreshadowing, obvious, we all know. But I'm like, in some cases, I'm trying to find a good example of one that does this. I get like, okay, since we're talking about the Attack on Titan, the entire Attack on Titan ending of like, oh, monsters within the walls, and just like the whole mystery of like where the Titans are coming, like why they exist. Like I think every action show does well with a little just bit of mystery of it, because one, it's like then it's not so straightforward action, and two, it's just like this is like it's kind of like world immersion. It's like, oh, okay, now we gotta like figure this really out, inconvenience to the plot. Not some like side story mystery, but just like now there's mystery element in this.
But JoJo does that all the time. I mean, that's what most of the adventure is finding out about like the lore of the universe.
Yeah.
Like the only ones that play it straight shonen are part 3, Stardust Crusaders, where the whole plot is, okay, Dio's fucking back, gotta stop Dio, and part 5, which is, there's an evil mob boss, gotta take him down. So I mean, part 8 is definitely, from what I know, the biggest genre shift, because it goes into horror, murder, mystery as the genre. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense, because the way JoJo is set up, not everyone has a stand. Not everyone is like connected into this universe that the main characters tend to live in.
Yeah, good job. See? I like when shows do that. Where it's just like, not everybody's overpowered. So like,
I found out that what's her name, Sari Hayami, because Imoto's and JoJo.
Oh yeah.
She voices one of the characters in part 8 in Eyes of Heaven, like the new game that came out. So I'm like, okay, should I just like blast through all JoJo? Because Eyes of Heaven apparently spoils everything.
Oh yeah.
So you can't touch Eyes of Heaven without knowing about the other parts, which is kind of hilarious in my head, because you have to. That means that the localization company who localizes, I think it was Bandai Namco, but anyway, they knew that people were illegally downloading JoJo parts, because legally you can only get up to part 4.
Oh yeah.
So if you know about part 5 like I do, and if you know further things, then yeah, you know this crazy shit that Eyes of Heaven is pulling off or whatever.
Alright.
We blew out
We blew out with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure here.
I believe you mean Imoto's Bizarre Adventure.
Imoto's Bizarre Adventure.
Waifu
Stardust
Crusaders.
Waifus.
Stardust Waifus. Waifu
So-
is unbreakable. I say is unbreakable.
Well, see you in new segment.
This must be the work of an enemy Imoto.
This is the work of an enemy waifu. Alright.
Settle transition.
Okay, so Studio Kara listened to our podcast, and they're making Gravity Rush the anime.
We've got other things to be mad at Studio Kara for at the moment. But anyway.
But they listened to us, and they listened to how we talked about we wanted some stuff between 1 and 2. So they're doing that for us.
Yeah, they listened to you, Colin.
They specifically tuned in for that, read my word, and like, all right, this sounds like a pretty good idea. So we're getting my show.
I like how during that entire thing I was like, that's so stupid. That's never gonna happen.
We get Gravity Rush the anime.
Yeah, my shit got called out so hard.
Active time pitch makes dreams come true.
So, are we getting the Gynax animated Army of Two anime?
we're getting that. Okay, so, Gravity Rush 2, yeah, we're like coming out. We got some new trailers. And
A release date too.
Release date
Europe
December
is
2nd.
surprisingly getting the good on this, where they're getting it before everyone else.
Yeah, for once.
For once.
They always get it after. Now they have a fucking pre-order. And I need the pre-order because fuck man, Cat Figma!
Again?
Not Figma, sorry, Figure, yeah. They got another Cat Figure. This time she's in white, so it's like exclusive shit, man.
I like Raven's design so much better though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I
Some
think
people were kind of
Raven's my waifu in terms of like Gravity Rush shit.
I like Cat. But yeah, so they released a new trailer of it and showed off a lot more of the enemies that you face. Holy shit, it looks really fucking good. Like, it's just like they haven't.
So PS4 now, Colin?
Like, it's not like it's sorry. I was gonna say it's not like Persona. It's exactly like Persona, where they don't reveal anything in terms of plot, and it's just all the gameplay aspects of it.
Yeah.
What makes it look really good. And it's so good because one of the main complaints in the original Gravity Rush was like, wow, you're fighting like so many of the same monsters and like same attacks and shit. And this time you're now facing mechas. Woo! It's like, I've seen like all the monster designs. It's like, okay, this really looks like the combat has definitely tuned it up in terms of like differences. And you know, have like the co-op with Raven, and just the entire world looks great. I'm so glad that they decided to like go even further with the whole city in the sky.
Yeah.
Where like now instead of just like 3 giant main cities, it's like
A whole
even
world.
more broken up. It's like it's just like towns, like
Oh, like towns scattered all over the place?
Yeah, all over like Bioshock Infinite. And
Yeah.
here. It looks great. I'm just like this is what Skyward Sword needed, but didn't have. Of just all these towns and like using, like definitely using the core mechanic of like gravity just to fly around whatever. And I love the colorful style because in the original Gravity Rush, it was very bleak in like the terms of colors, which was like the purpose.
Yeah, it was
like,
very
depressing.
orangey looking, I remember.
Yeah, it was definitely meant to be like a kind of depressing setting. After all, they're sitting right above a giant black hole. So this one looks like there's no black holes in the sky, so this time...
So that's the Persona 4 to Persona 3?
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
So the skies look nice. But I love the style of the watercolor, I guess, sort of a water washed look of it, because it definitely just like makes everything look more.
The backgrounds look super painterly, and they seem to have kept the style of like these Studio Ghibli-esque like character designs.
Yeah, I really love it, and I'm so excited that there's more. One, they have new gravity powers of like. Before you could kind of just like pick things up and just toss them. It's like, oh yeah, boxes. But now it's like, hell, you can even pick up like enemies and just like toss them back specifically.
Yeah.
And more destructible objects. Overall, just it looks like a very good sequel. So looking forward to it so much.
I plan to get around to remastered.
Yeah.
So that's the end game for me. Okay, there's two directions we can go. We've been mentioning Persona a lot. Do you want to go in that direction? Or do you want to go in the Studio Car direction? Because I think that's the harder transition to do.
Let's go Persona.
Alright, fine. Fuck it. So, remember at the end of the last podcast, we were like, oh man, this podcast is going to feel so outdated in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, never did.
So, where do you want to start? So, we had the first 18 minutes demo thing.
Yeah. We got the...
I mean, like, it looks really good. It starts in media res, where it's like, oh, you're starting at the end, where everything's fucked up and gone wrong.
Yeah.
Have you seen the translations for it?
No.
Because basically, the plot is there's a traitor in the group now.
Oh, are we like Roku no Yusha?
Yeah, it's Roku no Yusha now, boys. So, yeah, there's a traitor in the group, and no one knows who yet.
That's pretty...
But the premise is you have to Bokudaki na Inai Machi it.
Oh my god! Oh,
and
yeah.
So you start in media res, where everything's gone fucking bad.
Yeah.
And, like, you see the police detective pull him in and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And you watched the whole gameplay demo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get beat the shit out, you ask questions.
Yeah. And so you're resetting the timeline, and you have to make friends with everyone, so none of them want to turn on you, is the concept.
Yeah.
And we got all the S-links.
Yeah.
They're calling them cooperation now, but they're basically S-links. For all intents and purposes. I think all the designs of the characters now are very much more in line with the mainline Shin Megami Tensei stuff in terms of aesthetic.
What is that? Sorry, like the aesthetic?
Like the aesthetic of how bleak these character designs look in comparison to like the main character designs, which seem much more vibrant.
Yeah.
So we've got your friend who's like an internet hacker guy, and he's like on the Phantom Thieves side without knowing that they're the Phantom Thieves. You've got like this expert Go champion who's like a super devout Christian. I think my least favorite seems to look like, what's her name? The teacher. The teacher seems to be my least favorite. She's the teacher who wants to be a maid at a maid cafe. That seems so uninteresting.
Really a fan service.
Yeah, it seems so uninteresting to me.
Yeah. I don't know. We got a devil nurse that fucking fucked you in the closet.
I mean, whatever. The most interesting to me at the moment is either the hacker guy, because in my head I secretly think he's the traitor.
I've got my eye on you already.
Or what's his name? There's the politician guy. He's supposed to be like the honest politician guy, but nobody believes him. And like everyone's conspiring against him because he's too honest. He's too good.
He's too good to be true.
Yeah. So I think that's an interesting analog going into, like just Japanese politics in general are just super corrupt. So
politics in general are corrupt.
No, but Japanese politics are like next level corrupt. Where like, oh, why is this party won seats and had a majority government for like the past 8 million years?
Yeah.
Seems a little suspicious if you ask me.
Chinese mafia.
Dude, it's all about the Chinese mafia. Anyways, moving on. We can do the super hard Kara transition. Sure. So speaking of Studio Kara, I guess Hideaki Anno is putting off another thing to do Gravity Rush.
Evangelion.
Or maybe he's not doing that, but he's not doing Gravity Rush. But he's putting off so much, and it's like, okay.
Well, like,
you said 2015, Anno. You said 2015.
Yeah, but he had good reason for putting off Evangelion.
Yeah, because the movie wasn't particularly good.
Yeah.
So
if it's like, since the movie wasn't really good, it makes more sense for her to just be like, okay, I need to like step aside from Evangelion, not ruin it right now.
I want to see what ass pull he pulls in order to like not like fuck over the fans in another like 3.33.
Just 2018. So he took some time off, and the movie's coming out 2019. 2019, Hideaki Anno is reported dead. Fans murder him in sleep.
I feel like you could do the same thing with Kentaro Miura of like Berserk never being finished, where Hideaki Anno is going to go to his grave, and then we'll never get Evangelion final or whatever.
I'm just going on hiatus, guys. Hey, I'm playing some Idolmaster.
Well, he's doing what's it called? The new Godzilla film right now. So I mean,
like he's still working in films. It's just he's not doing Evangelion.
It's kind of weird to live in a world where the third impact has happened and nothing has died. Like I'm looking outside, there's no sea of blood or anything.
Yeah. Well, why is there no giant crater in the middle of our town?
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of, we were just talking about Persona. Atlas is owned by Sega. So, hey! We gotta go fast, man!
Gotta go fast. So, the Sonic Collection 2 is coming out. Woot.
And also, a new Sonic Classic game is coming out.
Yeah.
And a new Sonic Modern game is coming out.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, yeah, wait. Modern game. What is that about?
They just showed off a CG trailer. It's nothing at the moment.
Okay, alright. Because I didn't see too much about
The
that.
classic Sonic game seems to interest me more, just because.
Yeah, well, it's all
classic Sonic
stuff, and it's what was it like $10 for all of it? No, or was that from something?
No, that's for the collection. That's for the collection.
Yeah.
The new Sonic, the new classic Sonic game is not. That sounds so stupid to say. The new classic Sonic game isn't out yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, Sega seems to be getting their shit together? Question mark.
Finally putting out more Sonic. That's not Boom.
Yeah. I don't think that's actually what's gonna happen, because I think Sonic's.
Rise of Lyrics.
Blah. Vomiting all over the place. Alright. So, speaking of people doing good things, KojiPro.
Dude, my brain is fucked after that trailer.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm just going and I'm like, hey, is this guy spelling sensus? Is he underwater? No, he's on the moon. There's a whale. It's digital. Wait, he's gone now. What the fuck?
So Kojima it's I guess Comic-Con weekend. So I mean, Kojima Productions has been like talking about their plans for the future. First off is that the Death Stranding the first teaser trailer they showed off at E3, they said that's going to be a scene in the game.
Okay.
So we know, at least from the get-go, that he's not doing a Metal Gear Solid bullshit thing. This is not actually in the game.
I think that's good. It makes more sense because like the trailer
is
so different from like that other trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one definitely seemed more like gameplay. Okay, you see that. This one was like an overall look of like what is.
No, that's something different entirely. That's Kojima Productions' mascot character.
Yeah. No, that's not saying. This is like that trailer is something different entirely from the game.
Yeah, from Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So yeah, Norman Reedus is like that whole shenanigans is going to be in Death Stranding.
Yes.
And it's not going to be a Metal Gear Solid thing. Also, yeah, he's talked about like I guess we mentioned the PV for the company. Like I presume it's supposed to be used as a recruitment ad or something like that along those lines. Because why else would you spend that much money
on that?
On literally nothing that's never gonna turn into anything.
Like what the fuck was it? Just what the fuck was that?
And then we saw, I guess, the Yoji Shinkawa figure of the main astronaut skull guy. I forget what his name is. Ludens, I think. Ludens. So yeah, we're gonna be getting that somewhere down the line. Overall, I think Kojima Productions is on the right path, but I feel like Sony is like, okay, we're paying for you. Why are you wasting all our money on this shit? But Kojima is like, no, it's all good, man. It's all good.
It's all right.
Because like Kojima is one of those names where like you can just slap his name on something and it's automatic sales.
Yeah, just Kojima, and the fans come.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching. Just don't tarnish his name like any other company does.
I feel like Death Stranding though might be the one where it's like, okay, Kojima, you've gone too far in terms of how weird you can go, because this is Kojima free from the shackles of Konami.
This is like Jingle and Chase. Oh god, what's he gonna do now?
Yeah, Kojima
His
Unchained.
limiters, they're off. He's torn the ribbon from his neck. He's Caminary.
Kojima of the Iron. Kojima of the Metal Gear Fortress. Alright, I guess speaking of new, IP.
Yeah.
There's a mysterious compile heart game that's going to be announced. I have no clue what it is.
Neither do I.
Like, it's hinting towards, like, a super crossover of, like, Hyperdimension Neptunia, Makai Shinchillion, Omega Quintet.
Oh yeah.
Just like
I just got Hyperdimension Neptunia from it because like silhouette. But.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems like we're going in like a super duper crossover. Yeah.
Well, it's not the first time Hyperdimension Neptunia does it. I like to say Hyperdimension Neptunia is like crossovers into itself.
Hyperdimension Neptunia is the most meta game on the planet.
It's
where
a
it's like
game about video game consoles
and console wars.
Yeah.
Literal console wars.
Console wars of cute boy girls, and it's hilarious.
I feel like it's so dumb.
It is. It's great.
I guess speaking of Hyperdimension Neptunia, so Sega. We've been talking a lot about Sega this podcast.
Sega's taken a video game and making a show out of it.
So apparently there was this obscure thing from the 90s called Rent a Hero. I have no clue what
Uber for heroes.
I have no clue what this is, but for some reason Legendary Pictures acquired the rights to it.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Like, what fucking director to
Yeah.
made his choice?
So like you could go in so many directions with like Sega IP. Like they have such a treasured history where you could do anything basically. And they choose the most bottom of the barrel crap on the planet.
Bottom barrel, what the fuck?
You could do Shenmue, you could do Yakuza, you could do Phantasy Star, you could do like even Phantasy Star is like
fuck you and Phantasy Star. Never getting Phantasy Star.
I don't even care about Phantasy Star, but it's a name on the chalkboard.
Yep, it's a tick on the tally.
But like this is just nothing.
It's just so what the fuck.
Anyways,
it
moving.
seems to be getting, and what I think it's like, it's getting in on the whole superhero movie stuff going on now.
Yeah.
The Marvel, the DC, the Justice League,
Yeah.
the Avengers, and this is the comedic Deadpool style of it. Alright.
I am. Blah.
What the fuck? Alright, let's talk about nice things.
It's a hybrid RPG fighting game. I just looked it up.
It's what?
A hybrid RPG fighting game.
Okay.
So it's. I presume they actually just mean beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways,
Let's
moving
talk
on.
about food. Specifically Kirby.
I was gonna transition into Detective Pikachu because that seems like
Dude, cute stuff. Segue. Here we go. Okay, Detective Pikachu segues into cute Kirby. Detective Pikachu's coming out, and Danny DeVito is totally voicing Pikachu because we all.
Well, Detective Pikachu is already in the process of coming out, but this is Legendary Pictures again acquiring the rights to a Pokemon live action movie. First of all, you can do anything in Pokemon. Why pick the
Detective Pikachu? Detective Pikachu. Dude, just watching that fucking trailer, like, what the fuck?
Like, you mean for the game, obviously, not
Yes.
the movie.
Yes.
But it's just so stupid. And
the game looks just.
the game looks
I still
stupid.
want Danny DeVito to voice it.
Game looks stupid, and the movie looks stupid. Like, the idea of the movie looks
The
stupid.
idea of the movie is like they tried to make Ted for kids and just ruined it all.
Alright, I just wanted to say, because I love the guy so much, Max Landis, he was originally on the Pokemon script
Oh yeah.
For the live action movie, and it was going to be produced. What ended up happening though was Pokemon Go happened, and Legendary Pictures instead chose to greenlight the Detective Pikachu adaptation instead. So Max Landis was like, "Oh fuck, I'm just gonna spoil my entire movie," and it was a cool concept. It was Red, going around and like catching.
No, already the fact that we're not getting a Red movie just upset me.
Yeah, exactly. The second someone says Red, you know you're in.
Yeah, you're like...
Because you didn't say Ash.
Because you didn't say Ash, we're in it.
And, like, when he's explaining what he's talking about, he's getting teary-eyed. And it's like, I feel so bad for the guy. Like, he clearly wanted this, and it didn't pan out. Anyways... moving along, you are trying to segue into Kirby Cafe. It makes me sad that I will die and never go to the Kirby Cafe. Because that's running from August to December.
Oh, it's limited time?
It's limited time, like
shit.
every Japanese cafe ever. Except for like the Gundam Cafe, which will be eternal.
Eternal! Forever! Gundam will live throughout. Damn, I want to...
Or the Kamen Rider Cafe as well.
If we go to those cafes, can we like request specific cosplay?
You cannot.
Fuck, man. I just want to go. I was like, can I get a Trans Am?
But like, sorry, I just remembered something. The Kamen Rider Cafe is so sick though, because it's like, because the Gundam Cafe is cool, but you don't get like actual like Gundams around. The Kamen Rider Cafe is like you get all the armor like in the shop, like on display, and all the action figures and everything. And it's not like a cafe actually; it's a 5-star restaurant.
Wow.
So yeah, the Kamen Rider Cafe is cool. I wish the Kirby Cafe would stick around though, honestly, because I would actually want to go there.
Sucks that it's limited. Oh, I thought it was like longer.
No, it hurts that it's not around.
That is so like, I just
because Kirby is adorable.
Kirby's. I just want King DDD serving me his little minions on a plate and just writing "fuck Kirby" on my ketchup on my omelet.
No, it's like a proper cafe, not a maid cafe. So like you can't do the stupid request stuff of right "fuck DDD."
Don't tell me what to do. But there's like limited merchandise in there too.
Yeah, I know. It hurts so much, man. Just thinking about it. Ugh. Alright, and there's no good transition for this, but Neo demo is coming August 23rd. Hey!
Did they talk about the balance changes and...
Yeah, they've been talking about the balance changes for a while. Hopefully...
So hopefully we're going to experience Neo Dark Souls, and the Chinese can have their pussy Neo Dark Souls.
Well, the Japanese too. Yeah. It's like all of Asia's a bunch of bitches.
The Asians can have their pussy DLC version.
Do you remember what the director of Neo said?
What?
He basically said, "No, I'm gonna make it harder."
Well, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna make it even harder.
I want a bitch setting for like Japan and like white people setting for North America. Yeah, that just looks good. I hope we can get like the DLC, because remember when the original Neo demo was going, it was a week only, and if you completed the thing, you got like the extra DLC thing.
Oh yeah.
So and that was what I was trying to work towards, but I couldn't do it. But I hope the same DLC sticks around, or a different DLC happens, where I can actually get in on that.
Just like crossover, you get crossover DLC, you get the Knight of Sword of Artorias.
Katana of Artorias. Anyway.
Just instead of the wolf, you get Okami.
Yep. Shoot. I know you don't want to talk about Marvel stuff. I kind of do though.
Yeah, sure.
So Comic-Con, as we said, was this weekend.
Yeah.
Interesting things coming out of Comic-Con. Specifically, that the ideas that they're throwing around for Spider-Man is where I want to go.
I wonder. I feel bad for Spider-Man. He's just gotten such like a shit treatment ever since.
But the ideas that they're throwing around for this Spider-Man are hilarious.
Yeah, what is it?
So basically, it's like stupid high school shenanigans, slice of life stuff.
That sounds like the best Spider-Man.
Where it's like awkward teen Spider-Man is the concept that they're going with.
Oh yes, that's like the original movies.
Well, I mean,
awkward teen Spider-Man. That's what he
well,
was.
I don't feel like the original movies were that. Like I felt
What do
like.
you mean? The entire first movie was.
Okay, the first movie was
Yeah, the
closer
first-
to that.
Yeah, the first.
But
movie
like
skipped
the second and third movies just like
Yeah.
fly off the rail with that.
The Amazing Spider-Man went fucking bullshit with that and said he's the coolest fucking kid.
Real talk, I genuinely like those films.
Really?
Cause
Oh dear.
I know the internet hates those films.
Like I just hate the personification of Peter Parker in that movie because he's not supposed to one look that good or be that cool in school. He's supposed to be some nerdy kid,
Okay,
and he's just like skateboarding high school.
yeah,
scene.
okay,
Like, what the-
I see that perspective and I understand the sentiment, but in terms of like acting and story,
okay.
it's decent. It's not great.
It's not great, yeah.
But I'm generally okay with it. In terms of being true to like the source material, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
And like that's where I'm like, okay, I understand the sentiment.
I think we all liked it when we got the original. Oh yeah, his first girlfriend's dead now.
Yeah, well, actually, that's one of the things I liked about Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
2 is they adapted my favorite arc
Yeah,
of
the
comics.
Yeah,
The night that Gwen Stacy died.
that
Yeah.
was a good.
But no, the concepts that they're pulling out for the new Spider-Man Homecoming, is awkward teenager and fuck Gwen Stacy, fuck Mary Jane. We're
Yeah.
getting original new girl.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's where I want. That's just like interesting
I want
because
an emo chick, just
Yeah.
like, so they could just be like the awkward
no,
kids.
no, it's what they're actually pulling is Osana Najimi trope,
What's that?
childhood friend.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Doshio's
Of course,
Spider-Man
they'll
senpai.
never date because that's what never happens.
Well, we have to wait for Spider-Man Crusaders. Alright, and I guess speaking of anime, A.
Anime. You know, stuff we-
So Battle's getting a dub.
and it's bad.
Well,
The cast.
the cast, I don't know any of them, but from what they've shown off, it doesn't look good. And I'm like, Sentai Filmworks has always been hit or miss for me
Yeah.
because I really like the Batum dub because I went back and watched it a while back with
Yeah.
the dub instead of the sub, and it's done reasonably well. But Sentai overall has always been hit or miss. Like, it's just and so I made two observations while listening to that first dub. Ando's the only character for me that seems to be on point at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that would make actually that makes zero sense because he's a fucking Shinibio.
no, because it's just he just sounds like stupid geeky teen.
Okay, all right. I think that because I'm like he's not that. I think the easiest character to be portrayed would be Tomoe.
No, Tomoyo is so off point.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
Tomoyo.
I'm so scared for Chifuyu now.
Tomoyo.
Oh.
Okay, we haven't heard Chifuyu's voice
Yeah, I'm
yet.
scared for that. Have you heard Mirai?
We haven't heard Mirai. We haven't heard Chifuyu. We've heard Tomoyo, Hadako, and what's her name? School class president.
Sajuga. I mean what?
I forgot what Sayaka or something like that. Anyways, those two, Tomoyo and Sayaka, are off point.
Jesus.
Like so off point. It's not
so
even
is
funny.
Hanako okay.
And here's the second point that I wanted to bring up:
Yeah.
is that what's the best moment in Battle?
When Hanako had her I don't understand you speech.
Yes, that's
Oh, what if she ruins that?
Because Saori Hayami did that one speech in one take.
And the entire internet
Blew up. And Saori Hayami won all of the awards.
She won. And I feel it's like
And
I'm sort of sad because just Battle is such a quiet show and nobody knew about. But then when that one scene happened, Tarantino was like, "Holy shit!"
like Saori Hayami, every role forever.
Yeah, Saori Hayami confirmed every best girl voice.
Yeah. So
Goddamn.
like we get to that point where it's like you can only do a disservice to that scene. You can because you have to do lip sync timing, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can't I guess emote to that. And B, no voice actor can compete. No voice actor can compete with what she did with that scene because that is gold.
That is very true. Like, I can't even. I want them to put a lot of effort into that scene. Like, I really want them to. Like, I want to put. Who's the voice actor of Otaku?
I have no clue for the English dub.
Alright.
But there are a bunch of nobodies overall.
Like, I really want them to just do the fans justice and actually do research on the show and this was a really important scene that really made Haruko the character she was, because without that scene Haruko would have just been like nothing without that.
Okay.
That scene nailed exactly what she was and all she meant to Ando, and just if you fuck that up, it's
alright. So here's an idea I'm gonna pose. Can you imagine this, Battle Gang dub, whatever, with any other company besides Sentai? I think that if Funimation did it, and we had the Funimation suite of actors, because, sometimes they're hit or miss, other times they're freaking solid.
Yeah.
Or Aniplex, because Aniplex had the rights to, Battle when they were streaming it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Aniplex did it, I would be so on board with the Battle being dubbed.
Yeah.
Because both of those companies have a strong suite of actors, but Sentai does not, and that's where Sentai falls apart. Anyway.
I want to listen to. I'm just gonna listen to it just because we don't know who the fuck those voice actors are, and I want to see how they. I want to see how they do. I'm interested in Namdo because we don't get many.
Oh, who's gonna voice green hair chick? That's the real question.
Oh, what's her name? I'm looking wrong now. Because that was my. Sorry, not best girl. She was best hairstyle. Best hairstyle girl. She had everything.
She had everything. She had the hair over the eye. She had the ponytail, and then it turns into a twin tail. Oh, it's so good.
Okay. Any other news?
No. We can cut to black now. So we'll be back with active time pitch.
Settle transition.
All right. So we're back, and I just had a weird thought. So the way I edit the podcast is I record one part, then I label it as something, or I label it in parts. So for example, podcast 1-1, podcast 2-1, podcast 3-1. Podcast 1-1, podcast 1-2, podcast 1-3 as the 3 parts of the podcast that we normally do. So we're on podcast 13 right now. So I have to label these 13-1. 13-2, and now we're at Lightning Returns.
Is this gonna be the worst part of our segment? This is it?
Everything's downhill from here.
Yeah. I just think about that. 13 is the unlucky number, and it's ironic that Final Fantasy 13 was so shit.
Yeah. Alright, so... And it's the unlucky number in the West. In Japan, it's a lucky number. And it's kind of funny because it's this was the game that was trying to appeal to the Western audience.
This is got bad luck, but Western superstition, that's cool.
Alright. Anyway, so we do this thing called the active time pitch.
Oh yeah, we also find out Hitomi Saito is best girl.
Okay, yeah,
best
from Ino Battle.
Girl, Ino Battle.
She's the girl with the green hair or whatever. And you're technically wrong. It's Mireille. But anyway,
dude,
when she lets her hair down.
Was it? Oh, yo! Remember when we were watching that with Eugene? I think we let it down. We're like, That was great. Oh my god.
That's so, like, you can't describe that to an audience. What?
You can't describe, like, holy shit. Just go watch Inomato because it's a great show. And then when you get to
Watch the dub, maybe. Why not?
Watch the dub, maybe. Dude, like, I still have my account from like 2 years ago. I still have Mirai Head Tilt.
Yeah. Now you're gonna get the spam now.
I still use that Gmail. Yeah, spam me all your memes. It's fine.
All right. Let's see. So active time pitch. So looking at the podcast document, we had some interesting stories this week.
Well, we were quite all over the place with this.
Yeah. So here's the one that I came up with. Like second one, pitch an idea for a restaurant that is themed after a video game in honor of the Kirby Cafe.
You can go a lot of ways with this. Honestly, I wanted to do like either a Resident Evil or Silent Hill, just so like.
Resident Evil already exists.
Oh really?
That was a temporary cafe that got closed down. But I feel like it would be disgusted going into that cafe though.
Yeah, but you get like
you got blood coffee in your coffee and like a fetus steak.
Yeah, but I just want like some pyramid head shaped food on my on my plate.
I think that would gross me out.
What's in the trunk?
Could you do an Atelier themed cafe? Because I feel like it's primed to do that.
Like it'd be difficult just because you could like have the ingredients like your food looking like the ingredients and stuff you make from it, but I feel like that'd be very complicated to make.
Alright.
I think Atelier makes more sense for like a cosplay cafe.
Or like a made cafe proper.
Okay. Yeah, but like as a food cafe, not so much.
Like when I'm saying this, I want
you could. Like there's a possibility because and Ashika and Logia, I don't know if they did it on the other one, but they do have like your restaurant in it. That you go
they
to
do?
order food.
Oh,
so you can just take that restaurant.
That's so good. That's so good.
Make it in real life.
I think Sophie takes place entirely in a cafe, does it not?
Sophie? Oh,
yeah.
Sophie's very free roam.
Oh, seriously? For some reason, I thought that it takes place in a small town, and it's a
No, because remember it has the whole like choose what way you're going to get around the broken bridge, fix it, or the cave. We talked about this.
Oh yeah. I thought that was for Virus though.
No, that was Sophie.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Do you have an idea? Because I'm like Italian cafe seems strong to me.
Alright. Let's see. I was just thinking more of Gus and like Arno Search Cafe and just like all your food.
You can eat Charles.
Oh god. Because like they do have, I just want the cafe that you like you didn't see it too much, but when you start the game you do run a restaurant.
Oh seriously?
In honor side, and then it's like really shit. But like eventually this lolly commander like takes it over for you while you go on the mission and you come back.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
But it's great because when you do it, like they actually have like the weird food. It's like cybernetics. You can get really weird, cool stuff.
Okay, yeah.
We're just
also
branding. Here we go.
Also, what's it called? Oh god, I'm blanking on this so hard.
I love those making food
transitions
in Arnold series.
I like the idea of having like food in like any video game. Like JRPGs do it like well.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like it's such good world building. Because, food is the most mundane thing you could possibly think of, right?
Yep.
That's my idea. Would it be awkward to have the Quindekim as in, like, an actual bar? Because the implication is that you have to die to get there.
You just, like, you don't need to, like, you actually have to take an elevator just down into the cafe.
That'd be creepy as fuck.
You get Quindekim, like, welcome to Quindekim. And then they just have, like, darts and like pool tables. It's all depressing atmosphere in there.
Custom made arcade game. Yeah, that would be a solid second.
That's pretty.
You can order the Memento Mori.
Dude, like, just get. Now that I think of it, just get like Shokugeki no Soma.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like any cooking anime would work perfect. But no, I was thinking more like RPGs and like fantasy things because like as I said, it's such good world building because it's the most nothing thing is food in a universe.
Yeah. And I like the actual like having use of food of like you buy it to regain HP.
Oh yeah.
As like you buy as an item because a lot of the times usually RPGs like revert to like item store to that.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea of like usually the cooking foods have like food that gives you HP and special effects and usually benefits your entire party. But like items are usually like one usage and stuff.
Yeah.
The way just like they did in Atelier, it's like it's essentially another place you go to get ingredients.
Yeah.
Where it's like some place like there's like 3 different places and they all offer like the different sorts of it. So that's how they kind of like world build it. It's like because each place that sells stuff is actually like it's not a nothing character. It's like all those characters are like real and kind of like important, and some of them even come to your party eventually. But like, what was I just talking about? For Arnold Surge, like the restaurant is literally like your house.
Okay.
So,
imagine. Okay, we were just talking about Catherine.
Yeah.
The stray sheep.
Oh yeah. Or yeah, you the restaurant you're always in.
That's a good one in my opinion. Just going to stray sheep, and like you get like I want the boss to be actually sitting there at the bartending table, and be like yes.
If you want to order your food, first you'll have to play this climbing block.
We get Rapunzel. Like remember how they've got the arcade version of Catherine in the arcade?
Yes.
Of the bar?
Yeah.
That'd be so good. Just start running and you see 2 old grannies who are twins.
Jesus.
Okay, so I actually have 3 questions prepped for today.
Okay.
Second question is, if you could redub any anime in light of the Ino battle dub being not particularly good, which would you do and why?
Redub.
So the dub.
Shit, I haven't listened to too many dubs.
Like, is there a particularly bad dub?
Yeah, I'm trying to like think of it. There's so many bad dubs, and that's why I don't listen to them. Like that's why I don't remember them, just because I'd always watch like one episode of it and I'm like, they're so mad. I'd rather just watch the Japanese.
The only reason I'd want to like redub like that kind of stuff is because I want to hear like certain voice actors.
I love to hear
I know some people are like turned off by the idea of hearing the same voice actor over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't know. It's just something interesting to hear like different takes on a character. It's kind of like watching a play or a musical or that kind of thing in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll redub it because I heard it at one point and we were talking about it a while ago, and I just thought Asuna was shit. Redub the SAO.
Okay.
Cause you talked about how like the guy wasn't that bad, but I just think the entire cast was so ew.
No, sorry, I thought the girl Asuna wasn't bad. Sharmila.
No, yeah, that's what I talked about. I didn't like her.
Oh, okay.
And I did like it. I just didn't like anyone in the dub kind. Like I think it's just the best they could do because they like. Not everyone gets the perfect voice actor for the lolly girl, so like I don't expect it. But like they couldn't even do Kirito or Asuna particularly well.
Yeah, because my gripes with Kirito, your gripes with Asuna.
Just like I didn't like that dub whatsoever, and I was like, why can't just get the abridged cast on this?
Okay, so I've got one. It's kind of a weird one. JoJo Part 2 Battle Tendency, I don't feel like it is dubbed particularly well. Mainly because certain characters have faux Italian accents, which are done. They're not done well. But I think you could use a majority of the same cast.
Yeah.
But like, you would have to recast, or you would just get them to not use the accent. Yeah.
Just no accent.
No accent. Okay, so we
Alright.
we solved that one pretty easily. Question 3.
Yes.
In light of Sega choosing to turn Rent a Hero into a live-action movie,
Okay.
pick an obscure franchise. Keyword is obscure.
Okay.
To turn into a movie.
Obscure franchise.
And do you want to set limiters on that, or do it case by case?
I will do it case by case. What obscure game?
Yeah, sorry, I meant game franchise, not anime franchise, because there's so many obscure anime franchises that we both love.
Trying to think of like the games it might have been.
Okay, I have one, just because it was originally dubbed in English, even though it was a Japanese game. And the English voice acting was so good. The only problem I have with this idea is that because of how weird the story is, I think it would be difficult. And the answer is I would want to dub Nier. Sorry, live action do Nier.
Yeah.
Because Nier is such...
Has to be live action?
Oh yeah, it has to be live action. Because A, it's very much oriented towards a Western audience.
Yeah.
B, you have to it was dubbed in English first, so yeah,
Okay.
it just makes sense in my head. And C, it tells like such a interesting story. Like the story of Nier is so fucked up and confusing and that kind of thing. And I like I've said it before, I like Yoko Taro's style. Haven't technically gotten around to playing Nier, but I like the Drakengard games a lot. I like his new manga that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me in my head, it just makes sense. I don't know.
Mine's a little weird for a live action, but like they could totally change it around. I could totally see it happening. Ni no Kuni.
I really like the idea of that, because like Ni no Kuni is such a childlike story.
Yeah.
You could do it like you could do like what was that movie called? Secret of Nim or whatever?
Yes, Secret of Nim.
Nim, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, that movie is so like childlike in its interpretation. Or you could even do it like Zathura, where it's
yeah,
because it's
just,
very much another dimension kind of thing
Yeah.
going on. That makes a lot of sense to me, actually. Now that you say it.
Because the only reason I'm like kind of worried with it is just because like the whole way that the combat works is like send out the minions. It's like I think if they were to do it, they would probably have to focus a lot more on the large exploration part of it and all the towns and cities rather than the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like make it more like the kid kind of just finds his way to the towns and he meets up with the characters and then he has those there's like Trials of the Magician. I think like that's the part where it's like he like almost becomes a magician himself. Pretty cool. Anyways,
Soul Sacrifice also in my head, because I'm now thinking of Ni no Kuni just made me think, catching games, hunting games, and Soul Sacrifice, because that's also very much oriented towards a Western audience. The composer for Star Wars, not Star Wars. No, sorry, the band, the orchestra that worked on Star Wars did Soul Sacrifice, not London Symphony Orchestra, Skywalker Sounds, I think they're called.
okay.
Yeah, they scored Soul Sacrifice, so I mean that also makes just logical sense. And Freedom Wars as well. I feel like we could do an interesting story.
Freedom Wars barely has a story in the game, dude.
But because like the concept of Freedom Wars is so cool.
Okay, yeah.
Like you can all you need is kill it, honestly. Where it's like the concept is so good that you can have an idea and just carry it all the way through.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess that ends the active time pitch. If
we did pretty well on this one, actually.
Yeah,
we passed on it.
we didn't do like awful, and we had some good ideas. Like I really like the idea of an Atelier Cafe. Or actually, do you think you could do like a trilogy of the Atelier games? Like I don't know, you mean what is it? Is it Iris, Toturi, Meru? Is that the way it works?
I think
For the
Iris
old
is older.
Oh, Iris is older?
Yes.
It's like Meru, Toturi, something else.
Something else, yeah.
And then
Verona? Is that
Verona,
right?
yes, Verona. Or you could do like you could do a trilogy, like the way they sat like the Star Wars trilogies or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Where you sat like 3 in a row, like that's the movie deal.
Yeah.
Do you think you could possibly do that?
As a movie? Sorry, as a cafe?
No, as a movie, a live action
As
movie.
a movie. Okay. It'd be hard because there's always a couple of years of time gaps within each one, and it's always new characters. It makes a little more sense that it'd be something more like the equivalence of 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Where like they take place within the same universe, but there's a large kind of like dissonance between the two.
So you do one movie, wait 5 years, do another movie, wait 5 years, do another.
Essentially, and it I like that because if you do them all one after another, just like and there's like a new problem, and we have like some returning characters. Because like the interesting about Atelier is that the main characters rarely ever show up again. But the side characters always continue.
Yeah.
That's the way they continue.
Because I remember seeing the screenshots for Fierce, and there's that fat guy, and Fierce, he slims out.
He's all fit, man. But,
and I think Sophie's also in Fierce as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Sophie, which is interesting because she's like the rare occasion that the main characters did show up.
Yeah.
Again, because they did it for like Eshka and Logi, but they didn't do it with Aisha.
Oh, did Aishi not show up back up?
Nope, didn't show up in Eshka and Logi. She was her like stories mentioned in it, but never showed up.
Okay. What's his name? I remember reading it about Toturi and like that trilogy.
Yeah.
Rorona, Toturi, and Maru.
Yeah.
And there's the one character and I know him because of Dynasty Warriors games, who shows up constantly throughout the Atelier that trilogy.
Yeah.
And he's just a cool swordsman guy.
yeah.
And he's like a knight, and he's like, oh, I'm loyal to my waifu, who just happens to be one of the like I think it's his waifu is I think Meru.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's loyal to the king, and he's loyal to Meru, and that's his whole deal.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so sorry, I just looked it up just now. Remember how we were talking about earlier? We weren't sure if Logi shows up in Sophie.
Yeah.
Spoilers, he does.
He does.
Yep.
Right, let me see.
Yep, he is 24 in Sophie.
Oh, it is in Sophie. Huh?
Oh
shit, that is him? What the fuck?
That's a cool design.
No, because I remember that design. Everybody was just like, no, that's not him. That's some other dude. Oh shit, it really is him.
Maybe it's a spoiler that we accidentally had a lot. But that's a cool ass design.
They showed him off there, and the whole thing was Logi cameo. Not sure if it's Logi or just looked like Logi.
I remember though he does show up in Shally in terms of like being a guest character in Shally Plus.
You know why? I think it's because Logi didn't show up in Shally. Or Eshka shows up in Shally, but Logi doesn't. Yeah.
Alright.
Damn, that's a cool character design though.
Now I'm just thinking of like, because we were talking about live action shit, who we can get to play him.
We'll bring this up next week.
Yeah, okay.
Note this down.
We'll take 5, and by 5 I mean 5 days, and we'll be back. Alright, so this is Aaron signing out.
Calling. I was going to say Colin Logi out. But... Yo! So strong. Colin Logic's out. Logic's Fiscario out.